Okay.
Hi guys, and thank you very much for taking your precious time to contribute to our mainframe MOOC in Germany. It was really great to have you both on our Enterprise Computing Conference in April this year in Hamburg. Your keynote and especially your workshop inspired us to ask you some questions and telling something about your success story here and do that contribution to our MOOC. My name is Wolfram Kreis. I'm the host of this session and I'm from the European Mainframe Academy. Randy, who are you?
My name is Randy Furking. I'm a distinguished engineer at Walmart. I work on the ZOS Cloud and Enterprise Services team. My responsibility is engineering and architecting the ZOS Cloud environment, as well as developing and writing the ZOS Cloud services.
Great. And Rich, who are you?
So, hi, I'm Rich Jackson. I'm a principal systems engineer on the same team as Randy. So my responsibilities include pretty much the same thing. Looking at progressing ZOS and a cloud model for Walmart's environment.
Okay. Thank you very much, and I also want to thank you very much for letting us also use parts of your Redbook videos in our MOOC. And concerning these videos, we've got a few questions. We've watched these videos and learned that you averaged around 200 million transactions a day in 2007. In 2011, you reached 500 million a day. And in 2017, you had 700 million transactions a day. What is your most current number and the highest number of transactions you had in one day?
That's a very good question. We run several different parallel sysplexes for enterprise and cloud services. We run a parallel sysplex for our US stores, parallel sysplex for international, and we run two dedicated parallel sysplex for cloud services. All combined, we average around 700 to 720 million transactions a day, kind of ranges daily. Last year, we did have a day where we exceeded 750 million transactions combined across all of those sysplexes. Our cloud plexes typically run about, I think, Rich, what, 150 million transactions a day, something like that?
Well, probably a little more than that, but yeah, about 150, let's say average.
Okay, and we created those sysplexes, I believe, in 2014, was it, for the Cloudplex?
2014 was the official establishment date. We started some of the work a little earlier than that, about 2013.
Okay,
yeah.
So if you think about it, going from 0 to over 150 million transactions a day in our Cloudplexes, that's quite a big accomplishment. But yeah, all total, we're hitting upwards of 700 million, and with one day exceeding 750 million.
Okay. Awesome numbers. In your videos, you also talked about accessing unstructured data via VSOM RLS. So the mainframe people, I think, are very accustomed to use structured data. What kind of unstructured data do you have and do you work with?
Well, that's a very good question. So if you look at the history of services, first you had your SOAP services, which requires XML only. You have to have a WSDL, Web Service Descriptor language, to describe the service, and that requires XML. Recently, the trend has been to go to REST services or RESTful services. Now, REST does not imply JSON. Some people think you have to run JSON with REST, and that couldn't be further from the truth. With JSON, you can have any type of payload. You simply check the content type or the media type, and you can support XML, JSON, or copybook or language structure type of data, which is more like the mainframe uses. People in the mainframe are more comfortable with creating structured type of data in copybooks. So you can simply check the media or content type to decide which of those input have coming in. So you can access in a single service XML, JSON, or text, and then process it and then send a response back accordingly. However, you can also process unstructured data. So we created our own cloud service called ZFAM, which is a file access manager. It's basically a NoSQL key value object store. And we can support XML, JSON, or text, but also unstructured, such as GIF, JPEG, PDF, and videos. We put an artificial limit of 2 gig, but we can stream 2 gig videos out of our cloud services. These cloud services are hosted in CICS. They're written in primarily assembler and some COBOL, and all using vSAM. So it just shows what you can do with the tools that you currently have today on the mainframe. You don't need anything extra out of the ordinary. Simply vSAM, COBOL or assembler, or PL1, Java, whatever you want to use, in CICS, and you can handle any type of structured or unstructured data.
Okay. What is the named counter server you mentioned in your videos?
It's a good question. So the named counter is a facility that CICS provides, one of several, that reside in the coupling facility that's shared across all servers, all LPARs within a Sysplex. What the named counter does is allow you simply to have a repository where you can increment or decrement, but primarily increment a counter that is serialized and synchronized across the entire Plex, so you don't have to worry about doing locking, enqueuing, adding or subtracting whatever to a counter and then storing in a database, which does require a lot of overhead. So this counter, you simply create a name for the counter. And the counter can be anything, like a membership number or an invoice number or whatever kind of creative things you want to use it for. And if you look at our Redbook, you'll see that we took some non-traditional approaches for using the name counter. But here again, whatever the purpose is, you simply do a get counter. CICS will increment the counter for you. It does the locking, it does the incrementation for you, it does the rewind, the wrapping, everything for you in a nice little handy API.
Okay. I also learned from your Redbooks that you use GitHub. Can everybody access resources from your GitHub, and what can be retrieved from it?
Actually, excuse me. For the services that Randy has described so far, each of those are available on GitHub today, on the public GitHub. So if you go to github.com/Walmart Labs/ and do a search on Z Splat or Z Wildcard, you'll see our services. So the ID generator, as well as ZFAM, as well as the caching solution, is all available. We have been working through the process of being able to traverse traditional EBCDIC code-based COBOL, assembler-based code bases with what's available through GitHub, for example. The cool thing is that the Git client that's available on z/OS from Rocket Software allows us to pretty easily traverse that translation from an EBCDIC code base to an ASCII code base, right? It's been a challenge for a while, but we've developed a process that allows us to take that COBOL code base and that EBCDIC code base and directly port it to USS in z/OS, which gives us a direct pipeline into GitHub. Whether it's for us, we host our own GitHub internally, which is separate from the public GitHub, but we can also push that same code base into the public GitHub, and we have done that. So anyone that would like to look at our code base, the COBOL, the assembler, the JCL, any of that information available with the services that we've developed so far is available in github.com/Walmart Labs. So I would encourage anyone listening to this to at least go out and check out the code and see if you can learn anything from it. But even beyond that, go ahead and clone it, or fork it, and try to use it in your organization, and submit pull request or anything, any type of collaboration we can achieve from our code base to how any individual user might use it, we strongly encourage that. So, yeah.
Yeah, something too is we'll be adding new versions of these services out there this coming year, 2019. We've added several enhancements to each of these services. The unique ID generator, we've added a way to batch up thousands at a time in a single request. In ZFAM, we've created what's called a copy while replicate feature. We've added event control process. So there's a lot of new features we're adding. But as Rich said, go out there today. It's available. Look at it. Fork it, download it, process it, and learn from it. And then if there's anything you want to attribute back to it for improvements, let us know. But also too, watch for new versions because the new versions are pretty cool.